Bladesmiths, it's that time of the year when a chill in the air turns into a chill that runs down your spine. It's our Halloween-themed competition, gentlemen. How many of you guys have a knife graveyard? All right, we have a similar tradition here in the forge. All those blades that don't make the cut, we've repurposed into our very own Iron Maiden. Check it out. Bladesmiths, in the first round, you will need to harvest at least 3 of these dead blades and forge a billet from which you will make a zombie apocalypse knife that is between 14 and 16 inches in length as measured from tip to plunge grind. This blade must also have 3 gut hooks along the spine. You'll have just 3 hours to forge your blades here in the first round. Failure to meet a single one of our parameters, well, you can see what happened to those guys. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 3 hour starts now.
These are all blades of broken dreams.
There are built-in problems in these blades that these smiths are going to have to identify and work around.
I'm not going to discriminate too much as to what blades I'm choosing. I want 3 blades that have a lot of meat on them.
It can't get any scarier. Not knowing the steel type, I decided to do a spark test. When you do a spark test, you want to look for bright, short sparks. Looks like fireworks. It all spark tested well. I think my chances are pretty good.
I'm using a sand my technique. I basically took 2 pieces from 2 different blades and sandwiched onto another blade, pray to get a good forge weld out of it.
I cut a handful of blades off just so I could have a variety to pick from. I'm looking for something that is a solid steel, that don't have scale, and they look like they are one piece of steel.
Go with a canister Damascus. It's the safest way because we don't know what kind of steel is in there.
I figure I'll have the best chance with canister with a powdered high-carbon steel. I know for a fact I'll have a hard edge on my blade.
Right now, I've got 3 blades, what I think is the hardest, and it's also the thickest blade. That's in the center, and I've got 2 billets on either side, and I'm just going to sandwich them all together. I'm anticipating I'm gonna run into a problem somewhere with these. So the quicker I can get those forge welds starting, the sooner I can address those problems as they come up.
Trevor cooked his white out before he put his can together, so you notice that can's not peeling off real easy.
I get the general shape of my blade, I got the tip in, I got the curvature. So what I'm making is a big recurve knife meant for slicing and chopping.
What do we expect out of a zombie killer?
I like something with a wide blade on it, and then you can just chop away.
Yeah.
You know, think about zombies, these are slow. Chop the arm, chop the leg, and come back for the head later on.
Alex does have a pretty nasty-looking zombie-killing blade out there.
I use a angle grinder, and I get the initial hooks cut in.
How do you relieve some of that stress?
Clean it up.
Clean
Make it smoother. Get it almost polished.
Okay.
And then use a Dremel to round the edges off, square notches in a blade. It's just asking for more trouble.
The can is sticking on all 4 sides at the bottom, and it's just looking horrible. Right now, I'm getting really scared that I may not be able to finish.
Come on, Trevor.
In my mind, I'm thinking, if I cut this loose hanging bit off, I can grind the rest off. So I start grinding. I just got to grind as deep as I can without ruining the billet. And I finally get everything sorted out, and I still have a huge billet I got to get back in the forge now. The plan is just to make a long chopper with a thick spine. It should chop through a zombie fine.
Is that a quench?
As I come out of the oil, I realize I got a slight warp on just my tang. I decide, you know, straighten it out as best as I can on the anvil, and then hit the grinder, grind out what I need to.
When Jay Nielsen's beaten into a tombstone, if it's gonna break somewhere, it's gonna break on one of those gut hooks. So I put them right towards the tip where there's plenty of mass below them that hopefully the shock won't just go straight to them, but rather it will disperse throughout the blade evenly. Personally, I do not like gut hooks, but I will say my gut hooks look vicious.
Bladesmiths! 15 minutes! 15 minutes remaining!
I pull it in and out of the forge, trying to make sure everything's even.
Nice salmon color is what you want there.
There you go.
At least he didn't quench it when it was too hot.
I pull it out of the oil, and it's got a bad warp in it.
Just lay it on the anvil real quick to see if it's straight.
Starting to warp.
Hey, guess
Got
what?
a little warp right there.
15 seconds.
Will starts counting down and I get worried. I flip it over so the scoop side is facing up and I'm hoping that it'll suck the heat out of the middle and bring that warp down slowly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, shut down your machines, drop your tools, pull your blade out of that acid edge. This first round of competition is over. Bladesmiths, welcome to the strength test. Using the most violent action we could come up with, we will test your blade's edge and strength of construction by smashing it, bashing it, and violently slashing it into this headstone. And who's gonna do all that for us? Our own beast from the east, Jay Nielsen. Alex, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Jay.
You sure that's Jay?
Jay's wearing a hockey mask, an apron, and he's carrying a big old machete that's covered in blood. I feel like I'm in the middle of a graveyard in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That was fun.
Man.
Held up good, Alex. The only downside to this is it tires your wrist out really quick because you can only hold on with these 3 fingers. Back here, there's really nothing. But aside from that, it's tight, it's sharp. Good job. You successfully resurrected a blade from the grave.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Trevor?
Nervous.
Nervous? I'm not nervous. Let's just do this.
Do it, do it. Good job. Thank you.
Trevor, there's a few issues. You do have some slight edge damage right here, you can see in the light, and your blade took a bit of a bend. It's noticeably off to the right. Big thing, though, is this handle. This pommel and guard, if I didn't have a glove on, it would tear my hand apart. The corners are all sharp, but you survived. Good job.
Thank you.
Jeff, how you feeling?
Scared.
Scared? I'm such a nice guy, though. That's another bone guard.
Yeah, it's part of the guard. It'd probably pop right off.
As the judges are going over my blade, I pretty much know right then that it's some issue with my handle. All I can hope for is my blade is able to be tested.
Think you could be tested evenly and fairly with the other blades? Okay, so that's not a bone guard. All right, let's go tell our guys. Jeff, the parameters for this particular round of competition was that your knife have a bone guard and a skull crusher by the end of the round so that we could test it evenly and fairly with your competitors. You've missed that parameter, and like I said before, that's grounds for immediate dismissal from this forge. So I'd like to invite you to shake my hand, shake the judge's hand, and then please leave the forge.
I completely agree with the judge's decisions. I would have sent myself home.